What's going on? Welcome to Ales and Strange Tales. We are your hosts,
Chris Moyers
and Dan Stickney. This is a new podcast where we crack open a beer or two and share our listeners' tales and experiences of the supernatural, paranormal, and just plain weird. Plus, we'll feature local folklore, interviews, and our own stories and adventures. So sit back, pour yourself a drink, and dive into the strange with us.
Welcome back to Ales and Strange Tales. Me and Dan are here. First video podcast we got going on. And we have a guest, our old friend James Valdez. How are you, James?
Good. Getting very high tech on this.
Oh yeah, we are. Trying to. We're still kind of learning how to do this, but it seems like it's working pretty good. Now, James has some stories from when he was working for an alarm company, is what you said, right?
Yeah, but did he bring a beer?
Oh yeah, let's get the beers out of the way. All right, I'll start. I have a Founders Centennial IPA Indian Pale Ale. Just got it at the gas station here because they didn't have anything to pick from.
Yeah.
It's like a 7.3 or something, 7.2%. I barely took a sip yet. It's okay. I don't really like Indian Pale Ales, but what do you got, Dan?
Tapping the Rockies. Yeah.
You went cheap on us today. I had to pick his ass up too, so going cheap all around. What do you got, James?
Local. Let me turn the blur off.
It's like blurring up. It doesn't want to show it.
Oh shit.
Let me turn the blur off.
Censored. Yeah.
So I've got the St. Arnold H-Town brew.
Nice.
That looks better than
What
mine.
what is it? Just a regular ass, like a ale?
It's a Pilsner.
Pilsner, nice.
Well, I think James beat us on the beers today.
Yeah, I think so.
But anyway, he worked for a alarm installation company, correct?
Yeah, alarm company. Did service into many different places. It was actually kind of a weird job. One day you would be working at a multi-million-dollar home. Next thing you'd be working on a pig farm out in the middle of nowhere.
Really? That's a drastic change. Huh?
Yeah, well, what was even worse was starting off at a pig farm and going to a multi-million-dollar person's home because you smell like pig shit all day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in the same day. That ain't good.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah. Yeah.
You took your shoes off for that one.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a little trick to it, and it was pretty terrible. Because when you went to those places, you had to take a bottle of Febreze with you,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
your car, spray down yourself, and then you spray yourself again with all of that. It was terrible.
Seems like a whole process for that.
Yeah, that was all fun.
No. I don't miss those days. There's no more pig farms for me.
That's good to hear. I'm glad.
But yeah, we definitely got into some strange places and places that you never even know that existed. One of the places that I was mentioning before was right in Chicago. There's a warehouse that was Al Capone's,
Oh shit.
and they had an actual like trap chute where right on the river. So that's where they dumped the dead bodies in.
Oh wow.
Whoa, interesting.
Yeah.
So it was like a little slide that went down, and if you found the little trap door, you didn't want to go down that.
Oh yeah.
Now, was this in Chicago, like downtown somewhere?
That was right along the Chicago River.
Right on the river. Wow.
Yep. So
And I'm assuming Prohibition was happening there too. They can just dump the booze down there too
If need be.
if it was like a speakeasy type thing, or
I have no idea what exactly they used it for, but it was I guess it was one of his I don't know if it was a hideout or if it was just his warehouse to put product or maybe dump the bodies or dump the product. I have no idea. But yeah, that was one of the places. Found some really weird place in Naperville that I don't know if you guys remember, or let me see. I should be able to share this. You know, a place called Nike Park.
Nike Park.
in,
Is it by one of the schools over there?
no, let me see if I can share my screen on here. It's in Naperville. I think it's right, yeah, it's right off a Deal.
Okay.
Kind of funny because there's a lot of people that don't.
Oh, we got the map going. Nice.
He's even got the address. Right?
Holy shit, he's more prepared than we are.
Yeah.
So that's Nike Park, and a lot of people don't know this, but Nike Park was actually, and I didn't know this for many years. Nike Park was actually not part of the sports apparel. It was actually Nike Missiles.
Nike Missiles. Oh,
I never heard of it.
Project is what it was called. So if you ever look it up, they had the Nike Missile program in, I think it was in the 50s is when it was. Yeah, it was in the 50s. So what it was was short range missiles, and it was more for like the long range. There was a whole warfare that was going on with all the long range missiles and everything. So everybody was all freaked out about,
like the Cold War, maybe.
Yeah, is this Cold War type stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody was all worried about that. They had bunkers and everything. And
there we go.
They started this Nike project. It was basically just a short range missile program. So they were stationed all along, like some of the major cities. And once, it was only in place for a little while, then the technology got better and they were able to get rid of that. Well, they had all this land. They had all of this land. This whole area was underground silos.
Oh, wow.
And it's what they did was it was U.S. property or U.S. government property, and they couldn't do anything with it. So they ended up selling it to the park district because they still had the underground, like the
silos, bunkers and whatnot. Yeah.
So they couldn't do anything with the land, so they ended up selling most of this to parks or for park use, and then they just sell it to them for $1 or whatever, and then they turn it into something. But it's kind of funny because all the locals in Naperville think it's Nike, as in Nike the sports apparel.
Yeah,
that's what we were thinking too. Yeah,
pumping up your chest, going, "Yeah, Nike wanted to sponsor this park," and it's like, no,
not really.
those are missile silos right there, but.
That's awesome. Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I was just looking at weird areas to visit in this area in Illinois, and then they got something like that in Addison. You can still kind of go in some of the parks there.
Oh, man, that'd be cool.
There's a park now too, but they still got like some of the building up top.
Right.
I don't know if there's anything underground still, but you can still go in some of the areas that they had for missiles. I don't know if it was the Nike missile thing, but it was some kind of missiles they had there. They had a whole little base over there.
Right. Yeah. So it was really weird because I walked into this house in Naperville that was like right across the street from this park, and I had no idea that it existed. And I walk into this guy's basement. Well, lo and behold, he had a bunker down there.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit!
That's a picture from his basement.
Oh, that's his basement. Right? I think I gotta have Google or something. That's
No. This was leading into his basement.
Holy cow.
and then he had that in his basement with a couple of concrete like in-ground bunks for beds. You just put some mattresses or put some sleeping bags or whatever in there. I didn't get any pictures of his house because he was kind of following me around. I wish I did.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see that.
I mean, the outside of it looks really cool. You can't tell that it's actually it was, the house was built somewhere in the 40s and 50s, but it looks pretty new. So they must have renovated the thing or kept it up. I don't know. I mean, it
Yeah, they're
looked.
doing that all over Naperville these days. Yeah, everything's getting renovated. Well, that's awesome. And you said this was by Nike Park? It was near there?
Yeah,
Or?
it was by Nike Park. Yep. So they had that in there. I ended up talking to one of the like a plumber that was out there. He was telling me, I guess the businesses that are along here. He said that you can go into the basement. I don't know which building it was, but he said one of these buildings you can go into the basement and you can still see like the blast doors and stuff.
Oh wow.
So
That's fucking interesting.
yeah, yeah. I
So
thought
this
that
is
was cool.
this is on Deal and like what's the other road right there?
Deal and Mill.
Deal and Mill. I wonder exactly where that's at.
There you
Deal
go.
and Mill.
So Mill Road.
Mill Street.
Oh, it's kind of by like the movie theater over there, huh?
Yeah, I think there's Cooper's Hawk.
Okay, yeah. Now I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I've been over there. Oh shit.
Yeah,
I had no clue anything like that was going on over there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it's right by Warrenville, I see. That's I know that area.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna have to go check out that fucking park now.
it's pretty interesting because you really don't, you just kind of drive by there. I guess the biggest landmark that you'll notice is right on the corner. You'll see that building.
Oh yeah, I know that building.
Behind it is that park. So I'm trying to see if they've got a street view here, but they don't. It's just a bunch of park pictures.
Bunch of
I
punks.
drove by that park a lot and I didn't even know it existed.
I never even heard of
I
this.
think I've seen the sign, but I never thought anything of it probably. Look at this.
There you go. So yeah, this is that's the park entrance, and then
You're making this podcast way more intellectual seeming than it deserves. I can tell you that.
there's that building right on the corner.
Yeah. Is it?
That old bank or whatever the fuck it
Yeah,
is.
Yeah, it used to be a bank years ago, but yeah. So that was actually kind of, it was funny and interesting at the same time because everybody in the area, especially being Naperville, a lot of people think, hey, this is high class, and lo and behold, they got missiles sitting in their backyard.
Yeah, right in their backyard, basically.
Yeah.
They're all gone and decommissioned, but it's kind of a funny thought to think that was there.
Yeah, back when my grandparents were living there.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they were there in the 50s. That they did live there when my mother was born, and that's right down the street.
They probably heard about it.
Yeah, you might. I gotta ask them on Christmas now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but yeah, that's some of the stories that we ran into. I don't know if you remember that that shooting that happened in 2019 over at
Oh, at the warehouse factory or something.
Yep.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
That place was a little eerie. We called that place Shitland. It was called Shetland Properties. Yeah, it was called Shetland Properties, and we called it Shitland because it was severely neglected as far as how the building was. Oh shoot, that's not the way I wanted to go.
Now, did you work in this building before or after the unfortunate shooting?
Before, I mean, we moved here in 2017.
It was that long ago you moved. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I guess it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Tim was here for that going away party. I remember that now.
Yeah. So where the shooting happened, I knew exactly where the guy was when they started showing some of this stuff. at Shetland Building Business Park. Used to be, well, I mean, it was several businesses over the years. The school district had taken up a section up here. You go upstairs on the second floor. It's still got like old safes and stuff in there from the school district.
Oh, yeah.
They've been out of there for years, but I'd say when I was out there servicing that place, it was only
This one.
Yeah.
it was only like 30% occupied at the time. So
Oh, wow.
they only had, a tenant in here and they had a tenant in here. And the rest of this, all of this over here was completely
Just empty.
and you could tell that it's not really a place you wanted to work in
Yeah.
because that's what it looked like on the inside.
Oh, they haven't boarded up or anything. What the fuck?
Holy shit. Like the whole ceiling is gone.
Yeah.
So it rained inside more than it did outside.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it. Shit.
But yeah, that guy was
Thank you. No, I got it. Never mind.
that
Go
guy
ahead.
was out in the back corner of the place, and I unfortunately we worked there several times, and I know some of the guys have had to go back in there, and I'm sure that's gotta kind of creep them out because I from what I gathered, that's where they shot him down, was in the back corner of the building.
Back in that decrepit ass looking area.
Not that very close to where this was, but they've kind of renovated it for a little while because they did have a company take over this midsection, and that's where he was hiding because it was what was it, Pratt Engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
They took over this whole section here, and then from what I gathered, they started taking over this section over here too for storage. That place was huge on manufacturing. I mean, Aurora was really big, especially during like World War II in manufacturing stuff. They manufactured some of the bombers out of Aurora, all sorts of ammunitions, everything. I mean, Aurora was really booming for the manufacturing field. In here, it was always creepy going into this place because you walked in here, especially when it wasn't occupied in the center section, the roof's falling in, that's leaking all over the place. You're not sure if a homeless person is going to jump.
Yeah.
Okay, sure they are in there
I
somewhere.
guarantee it.
Yeah, there's actually a couple homeless people that have died in there because they had before my time they had machines that would go 10, 15 feet into the ground, and when they pulled the machines out, they just left a hole in the
It's a pit, yeah.
and so with it, leaking water everywhere, it filled up with water, and a homeless person comes stumbling in there and fall in there, and he died.
Holy fuck, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Drowned in there. But yeah, that's one of the places. It's one of the other places that I didn't really care to work at. It was
I don't blame you, man,
Yeah.
especially with the holes and shit in the water. Fuck that.
Dangerous.
Yeah. So the two places that let's see. I forget what this one is. Let's see. I marked this one for a reason. I don't remember why. Oh God.
That's the old hospital or something?
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah.
it was a like it was many things over the years. If you look around, this is let's see, this was Randall's Liquor right
Yeah,
over
yeah.
there. That little ass one.
Oh, fucking Vince lived right above where your hand is, I think, in those
Yeah,
apartments.
yeah,
right there.
yep, you're right.
I think it's still Randall's Liquor. isn't
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure it is. The place has been for like 200 years.
That's a dangerous park right there, too. You
Yeah,
don't
I
wanna
drove
be
by
in
that. It doesn't look great.
Yeah, so this place is creepy. I actually had something really weird happen here. I forget what
Actually,
it's.
they're making that. There's it's an old folks home. I think they're redoing it right now. It's almost there.
They
Yeah,
got
that sounds about right.
Retirement home or something.
they got shut down years ago, and for good reason, because that place was a hellhole. It was a death trap.
Oh yeah.
From I looked on it before.
Is that the same building? I'm thinking something another building.
I
I think I know what you're talking about. It's right off 25, I believe.
this is 4th in New York. Yeah, it's not too far off of 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, St. Charles Living Senior Living Center, but I think it was originally a hospital.
Yeah, probably.
It looks like it was an
I was
old
thinking
school.
the old hospital.
Copley.
Yeah, I'm thinking Copley. Yeah.
No, that's a place you probably do want to go to. Actually, did you know they're opening that back up?
That's the one I was talking about. But they're making that a retirement home, I believe, or
Oh,
something like that.
They're making those apartments.
Apartments. Yeah.
Really? That'd be a creepy ass
It's right,
apartment.
they're right next to the school.
Yep, they're making it apartments.
It doesn't look like that right now. I don't know what this.
No,
Oh yeah.
Any means take out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
They're
place.
getting there.
That place was run down.
Well, what happened in this other place you're talking
Yeah.
about?
So this other place, I had to go up to the top of this, right at the peak of here, to do some work because they had something going on with the elevator smoke detector. So of course you got to go to the top of the elevator, actually above the elevator, and I had to go up there and check out the smoke detector that was up there because they were having false alarms on it.
Like in the actual shaft of the elevator?
Well, it wasn't a shaft, it was more of like a penthouse. So because right up here you could see there was like a little room up here.
Yeah, like almost like a utility room, maybe. Or,
Yeah. That was, they had all the cables went through there. You go up there, you have all the machinery and everything up there. And we had to go up there and do some work. And for the longest time, this place was only occupied like the first 2 floors. I think at one point when it was a mental institute, they occupied up to like 4 or 5 floors. And I started looking through the place because I never knew about the building. I knew my grandpa actually went there for like adult daycare. My grandma would drop him off and she would go do some errands and he would do some activities there. And I happened to check out the place because people were telling me stories, and I looked it up in the news and found out when it was a mental institute that people were, the reason why they got closed down at that point was because somebody went and got checked in by the Aurora PD. They were supposed to be on suicide watch, and next thing you know, they checked him in and put him up on like the 4th or 5th floor, and he took a header out the first hour that he was there and killed himself.
Holy shit!
He bludgeoned himself with a fucking hammer?
He said a hammer.
No, not a hand. He took a header, as in like he jumped out the window and first.
Oh, I thought you said hammer. Oh, he
Exactly.
launched his ass out. I got you.
No.
It's a little bit more understandable than beating yourself to death with a hammer. Like, fuck, man.
It'd be terrible.
But yeah, some of these top floors are still untouched. I think it's this top floor. I don't remember if it's this one or this other one. You go up there, and that place had to have been built in like the 20s. You go up there, and there's still like old hospital gurneys and stuff up there.
That'd be creepy as
That's
fuck.
gotta be creepy.
They had those like curtains like it was a metal frame, and then it had like a just a white tarp over it, basically. And that was their like curtain to shield the patient's privacy and stuff like that.
Oh, that's what their bedroom wall was, just the curtain type thing. Just
Yeah, it was just kind of like a.
separate them a bit.
Right.
But yeah, I went walking when I was in the elevator, working at the top of the penthouse. I had come down and I'm looking around and I'm like, man, this is really creepy. So I started looking around and I started hearing like some weird sound, like I couldn't tell what it was. And then, you know, they had a few broken windows in there and stuff. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's pigeons or something got in there. And the next thing you know, I had a pebble, you know, kind of come across the front of me.
No shit.
Oh my God.
What the hell was this?
Yeah, what the fuck? Are you alone and there's pebbles flying at me?
I'm getting the fuck out of here. So
Yeah. Were you alone when this happened too?
I was, yeah.
Oh my God, I'd be at the fuck out of there too, man.
You know, it's one of those things where you kind of had to, you know, check your pants when you left. I mean,
Yeah, I guarantee that.
Oh yeah.
Shit your socks on that one.
so yeah, it was that was very interesting to go there. And every time I had to go back there, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going upstairs no more.
Definitely not alone. No, sir.
I remember waking up that night and I had a nightmare about that. I woke up and I woke up and had a nightmare and I'm looking around and I'm kind of, you know, still creeped out about it. And fortunately it wasn't anything that, you know, happened at the house. Otherwise I would have been, you know, even more freaked out. Probably would have left and went to the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah. The safest place, man.
Yeah, good old Walmart parking lot.
Well, yeah, I'm glad nothing followed you, man. Because people say that happens.
Yeah, possible.
Yeah, so yeah, that was creepy. You know, I looked it up and I didn't see anybody had any sightings there, but it's really not open to the public. Oh shit, here's a couple of the pictures that I actually grabbed from there.
Now, was this upstairs, like where you were, or is this
On that floor. Yeah. So when you looked in, I didn't grab a whole lot because when I did have that weird ass thing happen, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
No, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had like the nursing stations, and I didn't get any pictures of the old gurneys, but they had old gurneys and stuff sitting in the hallways, and it was creepy as all hell. They had a church at the other end of the building. I don't know if it got burnt.
Oh my God, that's scary just looking at it.
Yeah. In here, yeah, there was a church at the very end of the building. I think it was actually on this side over here.
What the hell were we just looking at?
That was the
Is
church.
that what? Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Yep. This was the church over here on the back side of the
It looks
building.
like, yeah, how it's elongated like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember if this place burnt up or if they were just remodeling it. But yeah, that place was something else.
How many years ago did you say that you took these pictures and you were here having that experience?
Geez, this had to have been, I don't know, 2010.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it might be more renovated now. Who knows?
Well, they shut down. So towards the end of me working at that place, they ended up shutting the place down because they had so many violations. They had so many violations on the like code violations and everything else. So they had to close the place down. They had health code violations, building code violations.
Yeah.
They ended up shutting them down because the place was kind of a rat hole.